Hello everyone, this is your boy Degenerates Outplaying Nerds, also known as Coffin on PS4. So we're going to go over today 13 tips for Friday 13. Pretty much everyone who started playing this game, I'd say for the newer people this is probably a little more helpful. But let's go ahead and talk about this. Let's go with number 13 right up here. Number 13 is going to be start of a match. Why is that a tip? Alright, so start of a match, I'm basically talking about what you're initially going to do. So what you want to do is you want to check your map, you want to look around real quickly and make sure you're not around when everyone else is around. That's the biggest thing, because Jason's going to look for the people who are running around like idiots, mainly Jason. Or he'll just go right to the main house like most Jasons do sometimes too. But you want to go to a house, secure that down, and search everything in the house and make sure you're by yourself. It helps you with actual getting away with things. For tip number 12, this is for both playing as Jason and playing as a counselor. The main house. The majority of people know that the main house on PAC Attack, and I think Crystal Creek, they have some, or is it Crystal Creek does not have a main house. I think it's just PAC Attack and Higgins Haven. But with the main house, you do not want to go to the main house first. As a counselor, as a Jason, you want to go to the main house first, because there's always some smart ass who thinks they can get away with it and grab that shotgun and get out of there. But they do not know is a shotgun spawns in 3 different parts of the map, and that's the hardest thing about this game sometimes, is where the shotgun spawns. So main house is good and bad depending on if you feel ballsy or not. If you're Jason, definitely go there. I would not go there as Jason. I usually go for the power sources, take out all the power, and boom, I'm out. That's a tip for later. Tip number 11: call the cops as soon as possible. And the reason I say call the cops as soon as possible is mainly for the fact that if you call them, say if you find the fuse, you find the fuse box, you get the fuse called, you call the cops, you already in the first 3 minutes of the game, you call them, you only have to survive until the 12-minute mark basically, and try to get out of there. But when you do call the cops, don't go to the exit directly, or if you do, go in a giant group. You want to go in a group, and that'll help you out in the long term of actually living instead of being killed so early on. Now, let's go to our next tip. Tip number 10. Let's say you can't call the cops. Someone either took off the fuse or died with a fuse, and they didn't tell you where they died with the fuse at before they disappeared, or something strange like that, right? Choose a house to get stuck in. For me, I like to set up a house where I know I can escape, but I also know I can annoy Jason long enough if someone wants to try to get away. It helps out in the long term so much if you do that. I personally learned how to survive with Jason in about 5 minutes, like having him just keep on me for a whole solid 5 minutes. So if you see me on there on PS4 and you're Jason, just be prepared to have a hard time with me. That goes to number 9, distractions. I like being the distractor. I don't care if I live or die throughout the whole game. I like messing with Jason. That's one of my favorite things to do in this game, is mess with Jason. It helps out so much in the long term, because Jason has a hard time actually getting you. And it's so much fun trying to mess with him, and it actually helps out with your teammates. If your teammates are trying to do something like put the car together, and you're holding Jason down for a whole solid 5 minutes, damn, you got that car set up too and already. All you do is escape that house after distracting him for so long, or escape wherever you're going, and then pop right in the car and get out of there if you're lucky. That puts us into our number 8 spot. So our number 8 spot is the fighting of Jason. When fighting Jason, the best thing to use is either a baseball bat or an axe, because it does the most stun. It usually has the biggest stun chance for getting him. For some reason, I've used a pan before and it works. So if you have a pan, don't be afraid to use it. It actually works. But that just go to combat stats, click your R3, and go to combat stats, R2, and then press your left analog stick, and then press L2 and you'll sidestep out the way, so it'll help you dodge the actual shot of being hit by Jason. You can also block as Jason. I did not know this until a couple days ago, and it's just pretty impressive. Just so you guys know, you can block as Jason to block any incoming hits. Grabbing. So this is for both counselors and for Jason as well. This is our tip number 7. The reason I like being grabbed because I use Jenny, as you guys can see me playing her right now. I use Jenny because she has the biggest composure. I like to get her a pocket knife as soon as possible, and I had this perk where I get a higher chance of breaking free of his grabs, but I deleted it by accident, and I feel so stupid for doing that. That was like the greatest thing ever, because I had so much fun like just breaking out of Jason's grabs, especially the ones who have less grab. You can break out of them normally with just Jenny, but if you have that extra grab time, it leaves them less time to actually get a grab off, which is great. So this is going to get into number 6 for the next spot. Number 6 is Jason's teleports. You can hear it as a counselor when he teleports, but also does the same music when he goes to stalk sometimes. But for a Jason teleport, this usually helps out in the beginning. So I'm going to give you guys a quick tip as Jason. Pick up the first knife. The reason I say pick up the first knife is because you can teleport somewhere pretty fast, and that person you teleport to usually won't have any weapons or won't have any pocket knives to get to you if you play Jason. If you know they're going to be at the main house, pick up that first knife, go to the main house, and kill your person there. Usually, I like using my knives. I've killed multiple people just throwing knives at them the whole time, and it works. As you are playing Jason, just remember you're gonna teleport and then shift. Don't shift then teleport. You're just wasting your whole ability there. If you teleport to a shift, like if you teleport right on him and they start running, you can shift right at them and get them real quickly. But if you do the shift teleport, you're not going to be able to get them as easy, and you might teleport in the wrong direction. You might teleport, and it might take too long for it to actually grab you. So that's the only thing that's tough about being as Jason, is getting the teleport off. You have to time everything right with the teleport, and if you do it right, you can do some amazing stuff with it. Usually, I teleport to a house, and if I know they're running around from the house, I just shift around the house. Another way around it is with the shift. I'll throw the shift in there as a free bonus tip. Woo! But in the house, if you know someone's in the house and they're pointing a shotgun at you, take a few steps out of the house after you destroy the door and shift in the house. When you shift in the house, they won't be able to tell where you're going to come from, and you just you kind of wait a few seconds while shifting, and then you grab them in the shift. Usually works. But if they have a shotgun, they most likely have a pocket knife, so just watch out for that whole part. You don't want to get killed by that. Alright, so perks. I'm just going to go over perks real quickly. Perks is one of the things you're going to want to have in this game, either if you're playing Jason. I grabbed the 4 things I needed for Jason, the 4 kills, and that's pretty much, I haven't touched any Jason after that. But the perks for the counselors actually mean a lot. My recommendation is save up to about 2,500 to 3,000 career points and start rolling perks. You have a higher chance of getting rerolls, and you can delete stuff real quickly and just keep rolling them, and you'll have more time to keep getting perks and decide what you want to use. But just remember, do not delete the stuff that you're actually using, like I did. I deleted my break easier from Jason's grab like an idiot. But if you do that, it will in the long term actually help out with your overall gameplay. Like my person right now, I spawn with firecrackers, a map, and I have a 10% chance of not being seen in houses. Now the map is epic, so I get 9% fear resistance on top of my composure, which is 10 out of 10. And then the firecrackers have a 5% stun radius, and the 10% is only just I think it's an uncommon, but the 10% chance of not being seen in a house. That's only if you're by yourself. If you're with someone else, he's definitely going to see you, which is really sucks about the game, but it's okay. Hiding. Now, there's a lot of places you can hide in the map. If you have the perk that lets you, like I said, a 10% chance of not being seen in a house, it's better to hide in houses. If you have the perk that it's, you have, when you run, you are harder to detect while running, that's a great one, just to stay outside and keep running away from Jason the whole time, so Jason can't actually track you down.
Do you stun him?
There's a lot of things you can do as a counselor that'll like help improve your gameplay. I think you can roll a pocket knife one, where you start the game off with a pocket knife, which is probably one of the best perks in the game to me, honestly, because I love breaking free from Jason's grabs to be a distraction. But pretty much all these perks are gonna like help you become a better Jason. And don't ever do what I just did there. I hit my teammate by accident, and I felt like an idiot. So don't be a team killer. Like, even though my name is Laughing Coffin on PS4. We don't kill our own teammates in Friday the 13th because we need our teammates. I'm just gonna say hiding is only good in certain places, and if you have certain perks for it. If you're hiding around the map, there's certain places in the map you can hide and not be seen. There is on Crystal Creek by one of the boat exits, I think, or is it? No, it's PAC Attack. On PAC Attack, where the boat exit usually is, there's a couple tents sitting right there next to the boat exit, and in that you can hide in those tents, and Jason doesn't find you, because in the whole giant map he can't see you actually. He can't see the camp. That's what I mean to say. Okay, a little brain fart there. You can't see the camp on the map because it's not on the map yet. But there is a camp on Higgins that you can hide in, and it's not on the map, which is perfect for hiding. So we're gonna go into the top 3 perks. Oh, top 3 tips. I'm sorry. The car and boat. Usually for the cars and boats, I always do the same thing. You want to go in there with a team. You want to have everyone ready to go. Don't ever pick the 2-seater car because that's the worst one. But you definitely want to go in there with a team, 4, and at least one person has a shotgun. People have firecrackers, loaded pocket knives ready to go. It's going to help out, and make sure the driver has a pocket knife. The driver has a pocket knife because Jason's going to grab the driver first, usually, and he's going to try to take him out of the car and kill them because they're the one driving. If he has a pocket knife, he won't be killed. And also, pocket knives can disarm Jason's traps. Did not know that, and so I fed it up by myself by accident. And for the boat, easiest way around the boat is zigzag or do your snake style all the way until your exit. Never want to keep going straight unless you have a boat perk speed, and make sure your boat go over 20%. If you don't have 20% or higher, do not use the boat. In the straight fashion, just zigzag. Keep zigzagging. It's gonna help out. For our number 2 spot, it's going to be both counselors and Jason again. As Jason, you want to kill the power boxes, right? The power boxes is your number 1 thing that you want to take care of the map, so people get increased fear and they use their flashlights more often, which Jason can't see the flashlights a little more. But you want to make sure that Jason can't see, that you want to make sure the counselors can't see as Jason as easy, and it makes it easier for Jason to track down the counselors with the fear. Another way for the counselors around this is repair the power boxes. You can repair them. I've done it before. You don't need any fuses or anything. You can repair them after he's gone and put them back into order. That actually helps out a lot, and later in the game for your teammates, and knowing where the power boxes are. If you're in a match and you spawn at the house with a power box on it, do not go in that house. Usually just stay away from the house unless you feel like Jason is at the main house. then it's okay. Get in the house and get out as fast as you can. And for the #1 spot, which is like my favorite thing to do as either Jason or as a counselor, bear traps. Bear traps are great. As Jason, you place bear traps around the 2 cars and the boat. As a counselor, this is the easiest thing to do. Open a door, place a trap, close a door, open trap, fortify a door, and that's how you leave at the door. That's how you can annoy Jason with bear traps. Use bear traps in ways you didn't think you would use them. Outside the window where Jason may go to break the window. Think of ways to make bear traps annoying for Jason. And I hope you guys enjoy. Like and subscribe below. Peace.